start.
Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Painting with MenothJohn. I'm MenothJohn, and this fellow with the frozen look on his face is Major Tusk. Major Tusk, say hello to the friends of Painting with MenothJohn. That's a thumbs up from... You may know Major Tusk from the Crippled System podcast. If you'll notice his chest.
Maybe.
There you go. Pull the hair out of the way. There you go. We picked the two most photogenic fellas on the internet, and we decided to get together here on a Sunday afternoon. Oh yeah, we're live. Hey, we've got our first viewer. We've got Mr. John Spencer. John's an awesome guy. He's been a co-host here on Painting with MenothJohn a number of times. As you can see, we've got a little bit of a different format today.
No painting.
Yeah, there's going to be no painting today on Painting with MenothJohn because we painted earlier. The whole reason that Mr. Tusky Tusk is here, and we have we've got a couple of folks now. The chat room is starting to fill up. God only knows how soon we'll have like an actual viable audience here, pal.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But you know him as Major Tusk. He's here visiting Mr. Andy Walton. He's here at Casa John. The reason for today is because it was all about the airbrush, wasn't it?
It was. I needed to learn how to paint with an airbrush.
And he made the mistake of thinking that I might have something to contribute in that area.
I learned some things today.
Cool. Well, we talked a little bit about, we should probably get like the painting part of this out of the way before we turn this into other things with MenothJohn. By the way, there will be a lightning round today, so if you would like to put questions for us to answer in a lightning round fashion, we will be doing Zappity and Grumble from the Crippled System podcast today. So it could end up being the whole show.
More grumbling.
I'll do Zappity if you'll handle the Grumble.
Oh, I always handle Grumble.
Your Grumble is amazing. And I stole that from What's His Fuck.
Yay.
So I took, I've been drinking now for about a good solid 2 hours?
A couple hours now.
Yeah. Dropped off the kid, now it's safe to drink, which is a good thing.
One other thing I learned today, too.
Yeah, what's that? Traffic
from Milwaukee, or from Racine down to Chicago, sucks ass.
Oh my God, does it suck ass. So let's talk a little bit about that. So today was kind of a fucked up day. For those of you who are having your kids watch at home, I'm probably going to be going more blue than normal. It just sort of happens.
It's our podcast. Sorry.
It's the Crippled System aura.
Yeah. we just radiate douchebaggery.
I might be playing some Enviro Bear 2000 later on in the podcast.
Oh, okay.
Which would be great. But anyway, yes, I had to take my younger boy, Lich Lord Charlie, down to visit his lovely mother. She's going to spend the week. They're going to spend the week together, and she's been in a bad mood since yesterday.
Yeah.
So
I was supposed to come down actually Friday. Probably better that I didn't.
We call that dodging a bullet in the business. And I went down to do Aluminum Gauntlet down in Chicago, which was a good thing. I've never done that sort of two-faction-y kind of a format before.
I've been wanting to run something like that for a while. I just never have. I've put it off, and that's pretty much it.
Let me tell you, it's a good format.
Okay.
Chad Kaufman did his best to fuck it up, but he did no. But in all honesty, Chad is super sweet. He did a great job with it, and I had a lot of fun with it. I took an E-Fioralist down there with Bullwinkle. Everybody, all the friends of Painting with MenothJohn know about Bullwinkle. And and then I also ran P-Scar because Lich Lord Charlie, I got him a Crix army that I pulled together for really not a lot of money, and I went 2-2. I lost to Jordan Knock of Chicago.
I think he's either from Chicago or he's from the DeKalb area.
Okay, DeKalb would explain a lot.
Okay.
But he put down Elich, showing a great amount of creativity. He ran pretty much Mr. Christensen's list.
Granted, that's basically a good list to run with him anyway, with a bunch of Banes, a bunch of Biles.
You really need to be more hateful if you're going to be on this podcast.
Oh.
So, because it cost me 9 zealots in one Bile crawl.
You didn't Greater Destiny him?
Dude, I was literally 6 inches out of my deployment zone when it all went wrong.
Well, you're supposed to Greater Destiny, like, immediately.
See, my strategy is to Greater Destiny on turn 2, because what I learned from use on minis is that if I hold that mini feat, it becomes more destructive. What I learned was it became more destructive for me.
What you need is, what might actually help out is Deliverers.
I'm going to tell you something. I had thought about Deliverers in that list. Deliverers would have saved me the game, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's AoE spam. And everything that is going to kill me...
They're POW 12s, right?
They're POW 12s. So
POW
they're...
12, so POW 6s, those going to kill POW 12s.
Oh!
Just flat out.
Mop them up.
Yep.
So what is it? Do we have anything here coming from? What is everybody painting? Hey, Nevendar's in the house. We're good to see you. We're good to see you there. We got Colin. We got Colin Pritchard. We're very excited that he gives a shit about us because he's a big time star on Muse on Minis, and you can tell by the look this man means business. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna close down the who the hell's on the chat window here if I can, so we can actually see here. We've got Blazinga Palm. I'm fucking blind. Did I mention that?
Yeah, I think it's Blazing Palm.
Blazing a Palm. There's an NA in there. So, that seems painful.
Hey, no.
A Blazing Palm seems painful.
No, it's Blazing Napalm.
Oh! There you go.
As if you couldn't tell somebody's been drinking for a couple
of hours. There you go. Hey, Ron!
I can actually say what I'm painting. Everyone who listens to Crippled System knows that I've been painting my trolls.
Yep. And they're looking pretty snazzy. We got a little bit of a preview earlier today of the your awesome Earthborn and your amazing Mulg. It turns out Tusk is one hell of a sculptor and does some really great looking, shall we say, modifications.
Yeah.
And
they're pretty solid. I have an upright Earthborn, which I
haven't had an upright Earthborn in a long time. Hey, I made an erection joke, and it's really early.
I've only seen one of those before. I did some research on it, and I saw only one person out there that had an upright Earthborn.
That's really cool.
Definitely not as dynamic as mine, though.
Well, yours is like leading the way. It's got like a finger pointing in the distance, and it's bringing the pain.
I could probably show him. The graphics won't look too great.
Because my camera sucks.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We can go get it.
All right. While Andy goes to get the awesome upright Earthborn, you'll notice that my protruding stomach here is due to the fact that we had pizza earlier today. And the pizza was lovely. It was from Durango's of Racine. And, okay, that's the paint. That's not... He hasn't been drinking near as much as I am, and he brought his paint in rather than the Earthborn that we were talking about. Let's see. Also, you are way behind on your drinking. Well, Nevendar, not all of us can be at 2:30 in the morning or 2 o'clock in the morning right now. I've got the most devoted fan base. They tune in at 2 o'clock in the morning to watch this goddamn show.
That's pretty damn cool.
This show that I find myself completely unwatchable.
Nobody will be able to see what he looks like because it's all black.
Well, I think, if you hold him close enough, maybe I'll go get a flashlight. Hang on.
No.
Hang on. Hold him still, and I'm going to put a flashlight on him. As you can see, he's pointing the way. And he's standing completely upright, which is just the opposite of what he is in the normal sculpt. Actually, it's turning out pretty well, isn't it? And I wish you guys could see the places where the green stuff was put on him, but now that he's primed, you can't even tell. And that's a real testament. Why don't you show him your Mulg? Your Mulg is pretty dramatic, too. We had talked about this before the show, and he wasn't going to show any of his stuff, but now he's showing you his stuff.
Yeah, might as well.
So here you can see
If I go like this. How's that look? That's not too bad. A little bit of a different pose here with the stick straight up in the air. Good luck putting that in a battle foam.
Oh, that's actually it's a conversion. Dire Troll Extreme.
Oh, that's right. God damn. Look at that. And then if you turn him around, he's got all of these. You can see a little bit, maybe, the green stuff on there from where the priming was. I'm going to try and highlight as I blind Andy with the flashlight. But a lot of these rocks back in here are all green stuffed. And there's a lot of green stuff like on the club and all that stuff. It's really a dramatic model. And Andy knows his thing when it comes to the doing the mods.
I'll be having some of my stuff on for my podcast as well, or my little tips and tricks page for
everybody's eating up your conversions, by the way.
Sweet.
You know, we got Colin from Iowa saying he loves it, and quite jealous. We come for talking to Menoth John. We stay for the painting. Well, if you're staying for the painting, it's going to be a short view. So, some statistics on painting with Menoth John, because I know you all care about the statistics. Average length of people watching the show is 10 minutes. I think that's interesting.
Really?
Because it's a 90-minute show most of the times. So they make it 1/9 of the way through.
Could it just be that they're logging in and letting it stream?
I don't know. But that would make my ego feel better. But I've got my very devoted, normal group of half a dozen people that come in here. I got 9 people watching right now. I think the most I've ever had watching the show at one time was like 20.
I should probably put on my glasses so every time I look at the screen, it doesn't look like I'm angry. If you look at me, I always look like I'm angry.
And he's not. He's the least angry person
but if I have my
I
glasses
know.
on, I don't look so angry.
No, you look reflective. As I look reflective as well, because it's reflecting in our eyes. One of the least angry people I know, in spite of the grumble.
I do get grumbly in games though.
You do?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. Things don't go my way. I get a little grumbly. Not as bad as Nathan, but
should we play Let's Throw Nathan Underneath the Bus?
Who doesn't?
So those of you who don't know who we're talking about Riduthan, Nathan
You'll
Hoffman.
never hear this anyway.
Good point. They don't watch my fucking show. Let's throw all of them underneath the bus. Let's start talking about Katie for a while.
No.
No, she's nice.
No, Katie's awesome.
She's nice.
Never talk bad about Katie.
She has a cross to bear.
Yes.
And it's her husband.
And pretty soon you'll see, instead of painting with Menoth John, it'll be murdering with Major Tusk.
So, is there anything that any throwing under the bus with Menoth John? Yes, that could be a new title show. So that's kind of what we were doing here. We had some fun with the airbrush. We talked a little bit about dilution of paints. But you had some interesting tech that I was not aware of related to with pantyhose. So would you like to share the pantyhose tech?
Well, first of all, if you wear them, you have to make sure you shave your legs fully, because otherwise
it sticks out.
It sticks out.
Yeah.
And it looks really gross. But it really feels very
But it
comfortable.
breathes, especially in the crotchal area.
Yes.
You have to get the cotton panel. You got to make sure it's got the cotton panel.
No, you can use pantyhose. What you do is you get your like a tubing of some sort. You put the pantyhose around it, and that sounds wrong.
That sounded really fucking wrong.
But
so wrap your tube in pantyhose.
Wrap your tube in pantyhose, and then you pour the paint in, and it's filtered.
That's your tech tip on painting with Menoth John tonight. There you go. So, but it seems like, in all seriousness, it seems like a good idea, because one of the problems I really have with my airbrush is the fact that I do get my paint is not the newest.
Sure.
And so I will get some dried pieces in there, and putting that in there is going to really, I think, help me with any plugging problems that I have with my airbrush.
With your tool.
And with my tool. My tool will be less plugged now that I've used pantyhose.
Yeah.
So there's your tech tip for the day. This is your painting tech with painting with Menoth John. Thanks to Andy Major Tusk Walden and his pantyhose.
No, but that works out a lot better, because it really keeps it clean. From what I've seen, is it keeps it
sheer and smooth.
Yes.
Oh, this is the best episode of this show ever. One of the requests we had to talk a little bit about, spoiler alert, was to talk a little bit about spoiling Pacific Rim with MenothJohn.
I did not see Pacific Rim.
That is a lie.
No, I did not see that.
I thought you said you did earlier.
No.
Okay. Well, then I'm just going to talk for a while, and you can react to it.
I saw Monster Apocalypse, the movie.
Oh, snap! I see what you just did there.
Wait, what? But no, yeah, that movie is so much the Guard versus the Planet Eaters. It's... And you look at some of the Guard models from Montauk, you look at the main character there, that's them.
So now that you've had a look at on camera of my crotch, I'm going to share something with Tusk, who he hasn't seen this before.
Uh-oh.
So I'm going to find it. It's in here somewhere. Here we go. We're also going to refer to this as Neon Genesis Evangelion, the movie Pacific Rim, because it's an anime, so Ayanami Rei has to happen. But I do have this is the box set of Evangelion. And I'm going to try and find a picture of one of the Avas.
Forsaken Pop-Tart hasn't seen it yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we have some people that have not seen the movie yet, so...
Oh, Colin hasn't seen it. Well, then we should talk all about it. Okay, so I guess this isn't going to be as spoilerific as I had hoped, but let's talk about Neon Genesis Evangelion. But Neon Genesis Evangelion is about... did you bring materials to talk about with the spoilers?
Well, I could do that.
Oh, well, let's just say right now, if you've seen Neon Genesis Evangelion, you will be happily surprised that Pacific Rim evokes the same kind of emotions without the shitty last 2 episodes. What have we here?
I have some of the printouts of it.
Oh my god, we have some printouts of the new spoilerific... this is from the Kickstarter, I guess the kids call it these days. The Kickstarter here. Here you see the...
that would be Caitlin.
That's Caitlin. My niece is named Caitlin. She doesn't look like this.
No, Allison. My bad. I was thinking... Yeah, it's Allison Jakes. My bad.
Allison. Okay, Allison Jakes. I'm going to call her Caitlin from now on.
Yeah, you could do that.
It can be a little confusing with Finch, but...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. It was Caitlin Finch as well.
I'm still going to call her Caitlin. And so there you go. And then this is MenothJohn, Initiate MenothJohn. They didn't realize that they were going to be making one of me, but they did. So this is the artwork. And these are all the new junior Warcasters that we're all so excited about from the PP forums. Do you have any of the other printouts?
Oh, I do.
Okay, hey, let's look at all the pictures first. We have time to kill.
So the awesome part about Privateer when they put these out in their nice PDF is that they really screwed up the numbering system.
Really?
Because I was trying to save my company printer paper and ink.
That's your first mistake.
Yeah, so I decided to print out every other one. So I just get the rules for one section.
Sure.
And all the pictures for the other section.
Yup, not so much.
Obviously, I got the numbers wrong because I printed out all the pictures into one batch. So there's...
I don't know what to say about this guy. This is the
Kador. Kovnik.
Kador. His name is Andrei Malakov. And he looks like a complete douchebag.
The only thing I don't like about it is he's got Razorwind, and just about every other damn character for Kador has got Razorwind for a spell.
I think it's the first one they teach in Wizard School.
Probably.
Then there's this badass.
Oh, yes. And
I got warm, fuzzy feelings in my nether regions about this guy.
Is it Iacos?
Sure.
Scourge of the Meridius?
You don't want me to take a Iacos? It is Iacos. Man, I had no idea how to pronounce that until you just said that.
I don't know. It might be pronounced differently, but...
I'm just going to call him Super Badass Dude with the Hook.
Yeah.
How does he not have reach?
That's fine with me, but the fact that he's got Escort is ridiculous.
Because Fast Jacks need to be 2 inches faster.
Yeah, because you need Speed 9...
Pew! That's the sound of his jacks going across the table.
Man, I can't think of what the hell they're called now.
Stalkers,
yeah.
Oh, Stalkers, yeah.
Yeah, you need Speed 9 Stalkers.
Yeah, absolutely. And Speed 7 Helldivers aren't too shabby either.
Pretty sexy.
So, MenothJohn approves of this guy.
Which is kind of funny because they actually burrow slower than how fast they can normally go.
Exactly, which is awesome. Let's see. Who else we got?
I got
This guy. Let's talk about her first. This is.
I think she's missing something.
Yeah, that
On
quote
her
brought
card.
to you by the PP forums, the most diseased forums in the universe.
She's missing something on her sheet here. I don't know. Other than Battle Charge, which is freaking awesome.
Yep.
And I think Battle Charge is awesome. No matter what people say, Counter Charge is
It's
legit.
counter charge for anything in her battle group, right?
Yep.
So
A couple models. I mean, it's not so bad, but
it's not broken, but it's wonderful.
yeah. And it's just a small upkeep, and she can keep that on herself all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Convection is a pretty decent. That's a Protectorate spell mainly.
You know, it's a POW 12 nuke.
Yeah, it's really what it is.
And that's what it is. What I've found when I've looked through these rules, and correct me if I'm wrong, is it seems like there's one on there that's pretty good, and one they might not use as much.
Yeah. Generally, most of them are all battle group because I don't think they wanted to have another utility. You know, like I'm going to bring an Arcane Shield caster.
Right.
They didn't. I don't think they wanted
Right.
that.
We're going to spend some time going through the rules because we're going to talk more about tech on Painting with MenothJohn than Crippled System does in 5 episodes. Then we've got I can't even pronounce this guy's name. His Gaston Cross.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess it's not that hard.
Yeah.
I'm drunk. I'm not really that drunk,
We
but
drink with Gaston. You know the song
no.
Beauty and the Beast?
Oh, that's a fucking Disney shit. I'm a Pixar guy. I know it's Disney. It's the same thing.
Disney's still damn good, too.
Ugh.
Depends on the Disney flick.
See, that's the problem with me being as old as I am. Is that I
I'm
miss
not
some
that
of that
much
shit.
younger.
How old are you?
Going on 38.
38. Okay, I'm 45.
Nah, 7.
God,
7
Jesus Christ. I was at Star Wars before you were born, kid.
No, you weren't.
68. They
Yeah.
came out in 76.
No, Star Wars came out in 77.
No.
Yeah. Look
It
it up.
says 7, 8, 9.
Prove it to us.
All right. So there you go. Whatever. Hey,
Seven.
Rinth.
I was 2.
Rinth, check that out. Rinth has never heard of my show. All right, so then the last couple pictures here are the real cocktees of the group. This is Striker Fortune, or what the fuck's his name? Dallin Sturgis. This is a little known fact about Sturgis. You are going to be able to take minions with him. He's going to be able to take any of the Pharaoh faction because what is Sturgis without hogs? Ha! See what I did? I made a Harley joke. See what I did there?
Yeah, it was... Okay.
And then there's his evil side, because being from Signar isn't evil enough.
Sturgis the Corrupted.
Sturgis the Corrupted. He's the Crix guy. So he is going to represent the first of the crossover casters.
Or at least crossover caster. I don't know if they've gone over anything else there, but I think it gives us possible hope for Karchev.
I think it does too. And the thing I like about his Signar form, and I'm going to try and get this on the camera. It's a little bit hard. But if I can get it here so that it registers proper. No, that's his dick. We don't want that on the camera. I'm trying to pull it down slowly. You'll notice that a flame is coming out of his head. We're not sure what that's all about. But it appears as though a jet of flame is leaving the top of his head.
What?
His head's on fire.
That is obnoxious.
It's the worst thing I've ever seen. It's got to be.
It's got to be his steam pack in his backpack.
Right, but it's also shooting out of his head. So it's one of his abilities is clearly going to be.
I'm thinking that it was a finished piece of artwork, and someone goes, "Well, he's supposed to have a steam pack on it." Like, oh, and that's
maybe. I'm gonna say he's gonna end up with a rule in his final form called Head Jet, and it's going to be a Spray 8 POW 10.
I will say though, whoever is doing, I believe their artist that they have for here is really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
This artwork really matches more so the man, I can't think of the guy's name, Adrian Narduzzo,
Mm-hmm.
the the main guy that they have for all their prints. His artwork matches his very closely, and I'm very pleased with that. 'Cause some of their artwork recently have...
He looks new. The art, whoever they're getting to do this art, looks new, because this is different, but I see what you're saying with the Andres Orduzzo commentary.
Yeah, I mean, you look at, I mean, prime example is this. That looks like Andreas's artwork, and that is the Cato artwork.
Indeed. And we'll,
there we go.
there it is. It's right there.
The Cato artwork looks very much like his. Same thing
I agree with that statement.
with the Protectorate artwork. Looks just like his. You put this right next to the new Fiora, and it looks just like it.
I completely agree. I completely agree. I really like... so let's talk a little bit about these statistics on these guys. A little bit. It's too bad that this, by the way, you live so far away, because this could be a great show in and of itself. This is comedy gold. Am I right or am I wrong, folks? So let's talk a little bit about the Let's talk to the Protectorate one first, because it's my show and I love my guys.
Protectorate. Initiate Tristan Durant.
I'm sorry.
Durant.
I'm sorry. I think you pronounced that wrong. It's Initiate MenothJohn.
Oh,
Because he looks just like me.
he looks more like... No.
If I bleached my hair.
No.
Totally looks like me. Anyway, so Initiate MenothJohn. Tell us a little bit about him.
Well, he's got Fortify.
Fortify, which is the business end for a Jack most times in Protectorate of Defender's Ward.
Yeah, and then he has your standard Immolation, which is pretty much, what do you expect out of a Protector caster? I think the first thing they learn is how to set things on fire, and that's probably it.
That's right. Now, is that an automatic fire or is that a critical fire?
That's just on a critical.
Oh, it's on a critical?
Yep.
Okay. So, what I like about him is, he's a 4-focus caster, and I think that the Jacks that are going to be really awesome with him is a Redeemer or a Repenter. And the Redeemer, I look at it from the standpoint is that of all of the different juniors that there are out there, this guy's going to live to see the end of the game, because he's going to be able to sit with 16 inches back there. Pew, 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 pew.
Here's a little thought process for my dojo. What is the name of the light Jack with the 2 shield arms?
That would be the Vigilant, which makes him an Armor 23 girded.
Yeah. I think an Armor 23 Vigilant may be pretty sweet.
Yep. Which is some tech that I rolled out on my P7 Spraybot list that I had, where I had a Bastion Seneschal marshalling a Vigilant with Defender's Ward on the Vigilant, so that I could have him in base to base, use Iron Wall, and automatically deflect the shot to him. Armor 23, how you like me now?
That's pretty sweet.
So you got some tech there, painting with MenothJohn's, folks. Vigilance with the Bastion Seneschal. They get no work done, but it helps the survivability.
Yeah, those little guys, I love the look of the models. They're probably one of my favorite Protectorate models, but the actual rules for them are not...
Yeah, they're a little mopey.
They're really pillow-fisted. That's my problem with them.
Yeah, they're POW 11s.
But, man, they look beautiful. So
here's my Vigilant, the one that I'm willing to show you. As I screw it all over the... So for those of you familiar with Bullwinkle, this is actually the model that eventually grew into Bullwinkle's paint scheme.
Yeah. It's such a great model, but I can't think of many uses for him. But honestly, under Tristan, I think might be used. There are 3 points?
4 points.
4 points.
They are. This one's name is the Wisher of Table Time, because he wishes he got some table time. So, anyway, the Vigilant is my favorite model in Protectorate. Let's see here. We're still looking for some questions potentially for some Zappity and Grumble later on. So let's think about those for now. We'll bring those up later. So what else? Who's the next one we're going to talk about?
Just a shot of me eating the paper.
We love it. I got some text messages coming in here too. We'll check the text messages.
So probably the one that I'd be the most interested in. I'm not playing I am playing Protectorate, so I guess I would probably weigh in him. I mean, the other cool thing that he has as well is True Sight.
True Sight, you say?
Yep, True Sight but he has no gun. So the only thing he will be able to use True Sight for is really his immolation.
Right, which is, if you gave him an arc node, I guess it would be good.
Yeah, but arc nodes are really expensive there. I mean, if he had something like Gaston where it was cheaper, for one of the arc nodes, I could see it like a Revenger or something like that. But,
you know, I can remember back in the day when the Revenger was considered the best 6-point jack in the game.
Well, that shield was stupid when it would bounce you back 2 inches.
Well, that was the Blessing of Vengeance. That thing, the Blessing was 7 points.
Yeah, with 2 inches it was.
Or 8 points, whatever.
Yeah.
But it was, but yeah, man, that shield with 2 inches was the best thing, the most survivable jack in the game.
Yeah.
What else we got? So we're going to talk now about.
We could talk about the best free 20-point swing you could ever get in an army.
Well, let's talk about that 20-point swing.
And that's Gaston.
What makes it a 20-point swing?
Well, when you decide to take Gaston and you bring him with your wonderful galleon and you put him inside a Protectorate list or you put him inside a Signar list, you have a nice galleon in your Signar list.
So what you're saying here is that I could marshal a galleon, stick him right alongside a Bullwinkle with Efiora.
Yeah, and then I could take Terran and then shoot the galleon.
Yep.
And make him see through, and then I just kill Gaston. And then you have a 20-point model that's just taking up a lot of room.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We don't like that. That's not tech.
That's pretty good tech. That's Yeah. Talon is Talion, I think, or whatever her name is. Terran is going to be a. I always thought that she's going to be a big thing during Battle Engine times. I still think that she should really start coming out more during.
But it's only mercenaries that can see through the jack, right?
Oh crap!
Hang on, let's fire up War Machine or whatever the fuck it's called, War Room.
Wait. To go over quickly what he's got Fire Group, which is pretty sweet. His range weapons of the model gain +2 range.
Mini snipe, right?
Yeah, kind of like a half mini snipe, and that with Galleon is pretty sweet. Moving Shadows, which is pretty cool, but he can't actually use it because it's at the end of the model's control range. Models in the battle group, again, run and gun, and Galleon can't be affected by that.
Yeah. Friendly faction models can ignore the model hit when determining line of sight or making ranged or magic attacks. So it has to be friendly faction model. So it has to be a mercenary unit shooting through the machine, the thing.
So then I would be then probably. I've been wanting to switch back to my mercs too.
So in that case, it would be a Zappity, not a Grumble.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Other awesome things that he has as well. I mean, Moving Shadows is pretty sweet. He does have dodge. He has a flank warjack, so just a friendly model, so it doesn't even have to be part of his battle group he gets flanked with.
That's pretty cool.
Which is pretty awesome. He's got Scavenger Vanguards, which is pretty awesome, because Vanguards are easily the best.
What's the point cost on Vanguard?
4 points with him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good 4-point jack.
Yeah. Vanguards are really, really good.
Oh, sure. Colin shows up long enough to give a shit about not talking about Pacific Rim. Now he left.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about Pacific Rim later, unless Forsaken Pop-Tart is still here, in which case we won't. All right, so let's talk about Ilara, the Tyro of the third chamber.
It's a very long time.
Not the first chamber or the second chamber, and certainly not going on to the fourth chamber.
No, this is only the third chamber, which could be a reference to something else I will not mention.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. Third entry, folks. All right. She's also got Battle Charged, which is pretty solid. She gives counter charge to her battle group.
Yep.
I think some people seem to think that's a wasted spell. I think it's pretty darn cool. I mean, I always hate it when I get to move my guys up to do something, and next thing you know, that stupid bronze back is in my face.
Yep.
It sucks. I haven't played much against Convergence. I know that Axis, I believe it's Axis that has all the counter charge,
Right.
correct?
That's correct.
And I haven't played against that yet, but I'm not looking forward to it.
Seems irritating.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you have, like, you have your baited heavy out there,
Yep.
and you have a couple other baited heavies beside them to
countercharge in, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not looking forward to that.
No, seems like a bad time.
She's also got Convection, which is a pretty decent spell. It's basically the Protectorate spell, kill a living model, allocate a focus point, which is pretty sweet. She's got Sidestep, which is pretty decent. She's got 2 attacks, which is, I think, a rare for these guys.
I think she's the only one.
Jake's has got 2. Gaston has got 2. Okay, I guess Tristan, Akios.
I guess we're the mopey ones in the band, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Huh.
Okay. Sidestep and then Extraction. Basically with melee she can allocate focus if she kills a living model, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, I mean, no, I think that they're intending these guys to be playing a little bit more forward, and I have a feeling that's kind of a trap.
I think so.
I think they're going to get you. You're going to end up with killed, and then your Warcaster is going to be running around trying to add models to his battle group.
I think especially trying to put one of these little journeymen onto a big 20-point model, I think it's a mistake. Otherwise, if you try to put that on there, you're going to have somebody's. Uh-oh. There we go. Yay!
We blanked out there for a second. I thought I had a kernel panic. This laptop is not in a happy place. So we were saying, we're talking about the vulnerability of these junior Warcasters.
Yeah, I think trying to put a 20-point model onto one of these is very similar to Gaston, is where you lose that character, that Jack goes inert.
Yeah.
You lose a round
and
of
you do it out of faction, you're fucked. You're not getting into anybody's battle group.
No, then he just basically becomes a gigantic building for you to try to navigate around.
Good luck with all that.
Yeah. Not only do you, if you lose your Warcaster, you're losing that activation that turn for that Jack.
Yep.
You're also losing the activation for that caster trying to go and reactivate that Jack.
Yep. Oh, it's a disaster.
And if your caster's out of position, that's 2 turns without that Jack. So why isn't that Jack on that Warcaster in the first place? Done.
Yep. That being said, I'm totally going to run it. Because I'm a masochist.
Man.
And I want to see a table that has a Bullwinkle and a Galleon in it.
I can see some of the little Jacks in that. Like we were talking about Akios, Scourge of the Meridius. I like him a lot. I think he will run really well with Stalkers.
I think so too.
You said Helldivers. I think they're pretty solid. Scavengers actually might be really good with him.
Oh yeah,
Speed 9 Scavengers is pretty sexy.
With Grievous Wounds?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
My God, they may have finally found a use for him. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. Plus, I mean, not only does he have that, he's got Deathbringers and Escort.
Think about Ripjaw on him. I mean, you can't use the Arc Node, but you've got the armor piercing.
Yep.
It's on a Speed 9 walking Speed 9 Jack.
Yep.
That's pretty amazing.
That is pretty cool. Plus, he can hold down a Jack too,
or with a Defiler. You got a spray 8, I believe.
I believe so.
Yeah, spray 8. You run them out, walk them out there 8, 9 inches, spraying another 8. That's a 17-inch threat range on a spray that's boostable.
That's pretty sexy.
Yep, it's very sexy.
Not only is that, he has stealth, which is easily one of the great benefits of Cricks.
Yep.
Jump is pretty decent, where you can actually get him into a safer place at the end if you couldn't actually walk over it.
Yep.
He has a small base drag, which is pretty awesome. Yeah.
He's dead sexy.
He is pretty darn sexy. His range of his harpoon is not really that great. It's only 6 inches.
No, but his walking threat range is 11. When does he jump? After using normal movement? So 11 inches, shoot his harpoon, 6 inches, so it's a 17-inch threat range on his harpoon. Drag it in, here comes the rest of his crew.
Yep. I think he runs the issue of being... I think his harpoon is a trap.
I think you're right.
I think it's a trap.
I think you're right too.
I think if you play him like a Scarlock, you're going to be fine, especially if you're running him with Stalkers, because his control range will match most casters with a Stalker at 16.
Yeah.
So, I mean, technically, you know what I'm
most
talking
being
about.
E. Haley.
Well, I mean, most casters are, they got a 14 or 16.
Yeah.
With a Stalker, it's up to 28, obviously, 28, 30. With him, though, he has just a normal control range with the Stalker.
Yep, which brings into question the Signar one. Is there anything that would make us think that a hunter would not be good with her?
I don't think why not, because it's free focus for him.
Seems like it.
Yeah,
seems like it. And once again, benefiting from that extended control range, she can keep herself healthy while putting those hunters out there.
Can you put a? I don't know if this ever was asked a question. Did you have to put it on a Warcaster? Can you put the Squire on one? On a Journeyman? Is it a character?
Let's put it out there to the Painting with MenothJohn audience. What we really need right now, would you get a hold of the highest ranking judge in Privateer Press history?
Just call him?
Why don't we call him right now, live on the show?
All right.
So we're calling Nate Hoffman, Ridufan, to be a part of the show here. We're calling the highest scoring judge in Privateer Press history. He would have got 100, but he felt morally obligated to point out he had gotten the word wrong. So, can you put it? Let's jack it up here.
See if I can get it.
We're going to try for Nathan Hoffman.
Hello?
Hey, Nathan.
Hi, Nathan. This is MenothJohn. You're on Painting with MenothJohn live right now.
Oh, that's so exciting.
So we're going to hold you a little closer here to the microphone so that you can be a part of the show. In case you haven't heard, this might be the last Sunday show. The fans of MenothJohn are kind of beating down the door to make this not the last Sunday show. But we have a judge question for you. Would you be willing to take a judge question right now?
Hey.
Waiting for you, sexy.
Oh, snap. I'm getting wood right now as we speak. So the question we have is, the new junior Warcasters, Tusk and I are kind of going through them right now, talking a little bit about them, eating up time until it's time to do a Release the Kraken. And the question we have is about Allison Jakes, who, we're going to call her Caitlin. She's the Signar character solo. Is it possible that she could have the Squire?
No.
Oh!
She could not, because she isn't a Warcaster, and you can only attach Warcaster attachments to Warcasters.
That is correct. We think that's correct, because she's listed as a solo, is she not?
Yep, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he saw that just after we had called you, but we still wanted to have you on the show.
And Forsaken Pop-Tart posted it too.
Forsaken Pop-Tart did put that on there. But we would love to. We were glad you're on the show. Thanks for letting us bring you into the Painting with MenothJohn family. We're going to call this Painting with Crippled System.
I just got home from work a little bit ago, and for once we're not recording our podcast on a Sunday, so I think I'm going to hop on and watch you live and maybe chat on the screen there.
Well, you know how to get on there. It's right there on twitch.tv. Look for MenothJohn.
There you go.
I'm going to be on shortly.
Very good. We are going to do Zappity and Grumble after a while. So
very nice.
if you want to get some questions ready, and we'll be more than happy to answer your Zappity and Grumble questions.
If there's one thing I have, it's many, many questions.
All right. Thank you, Judge. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Nathan Hoffman, the highest scoring judge in the Privateer Press Judge Program's history. He would have had 100, but he felt morally obligated to point out he got one of the words wrong.
Yep. I don't like to toot my own horn, but, I am the best ever.
He is great. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the chat room.
Right, bye.
Yep, bye. Oh, this is the greatest episode of Painting with MenothJohn in recorded history. We don't often have telephone call-in guests, but I hope that wasn't too hard to hear. But if it was too hard to hear, we're sorry for you, because it was epic. We're just going to check the number of people in the chat room. We have 10 people. Yes, 10 people in the chat room. It's a great episode. Thanks for being here with us today.
You're welcome.
We had pizza earlier. How did you think about the Durango's pizza?
Durango's pizza is pretty sexy.
It was pretty good. We went with some real Racine pizza here this time. Let's try and get this up here. I think people are interested in our guts, but are more interested in our face. As you'll notice in the background here, I have a Matthew Wilson signed picture. of the Guardian trashing out some Signar.
Nah.
It is actually signed by him from the Privateer Press Invitational. That was before I trolled him on Twitter and lost my job as a PG. So, anyway, let's see what else. No, we've talked about Ilara. We've talked about Allison and how she can't use that fabulous square.
Yeah, we're kind of jumping around a little bit.
We're not even interested in any kind of coherence. Let's talk about Andrei Malikov, the douchebag of Kador.
Or as they say in Minnesota, Kador.
Whatever. I can't help the I lived there for a lot of years, and I don't miss it at all.
Yeah, it's fine. I like the Minnesota folks, but they seem to call it Kador. He's got two pretty decent spells. I mean, Razorwind, as little as I see it, okay.
Seems like a requirement for a junior to have a POW 12 nuke. It just seems like that's the way we're going these days.
Yeah, yep, having something there. Redline, which is a pretty decent spell. Definitely with the +2 strength and speed. Man, I could possibly see some Juggernauts running around.
Absolutely.
Speed 6 Juggernauts are pretty cool of a thing. Plus
POW 21
Frost Axes.
Yeah.
Pretty sexy. I mean, if you even run around with some Berserkers, I think you run into troubles with them because then they'll
kaboom!
Explode.
But it makes him safer. Because he'll be able to camp his focus at that point.
Yes.
So that is really good with those guys. Clamjacks.
Yeah, I just rarely ever see anybody take jugs. I mean, you never see, because it's only a 7-point jack.
I think that the beauty in these guys are going to be running the cheap jacks with them.
I mean, when was the last time you saw a Marauder on the field?
I know, they're fucking awesome.
Yeah, especially with the slam nowadays, with zones, definitely could be very useful. I just never see
never see them anyway.
No.
Nope.
I haven't seen them since Mark 1.
That's because the Kador players have imaginations this big, and I'm holding my fingers together very close, tiny. You gotta get on the camera here, Tusky. There we go. Tiny. That's how big.
Whoa.
That's how big the Kador imaginations are, right there. All right. So, gonna rearrange the camera here again. Okay. So, what else does this clown got? Anything else special?
Nothing too much. I mean, he's got Fearless, which is kind of funny. Oh, they'll have Fearless.
I thought that said Stroker, but it's actually Sucker. Stroker Ace. That was a movie by Burt Reynolds.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Burt Reynolds, who was also in Archer, who the producer from Archer is also a War Machine fan. I brought it full circle. Podcasting gold.
Amazing.
Totally all the way around.
But he's also got Sucker.
Hey, Ready Fan! He's in the house.
Crap.
Hooray!
Crap, he's here. All right, I'm out. See you guys later.
Yeah. No, I need a drink. I'm getting a little dry here. We are 10 minutes away from releasing the Kraken. Just because we're doing a non-painting version doesn't mean we can't release the Kraken. And while you vamp, I'm going to go get the Kraken.
Release the Kraken.
Are you going to release the Kraken with me?
Does this involve me dropping my pants?
No, not at all. That's releasing the crack. This is releasing the Kraken. It's Kraken rum. You have to drive.
I can try a little bit.
All right, sounds good.
Ah, son of a bitch.
Oh, that was bad languages.
Yeah.
What happened?
Nathan can't record tomorrow.
Oh,
Tuesday?
So, gotta tell a little story about this bottle of Kraken. For those of you who have been watching around, you'll notice how large this is my head, and this is the Kraken up against my head. It's a big fucking bottle, because I got a big-ass head. And this is from my sister, who you met earlier today.
Yep.
Because she was in town. Funny story about that. I need some guidance from the Painting with MenothJohn family.
You're asking the wrong crew.
And Do you just show up at people's houses unannounced?
That's generally how you do it all the time.
Really?
You're like, hey,
I'm
I
here.
just showed up. Hey, what's going on? Hey, how you doing?
That is alien to me.
No, you don't do that.
No.
You usually have some kind of message
No
beforehand.
fucking idea. She's on the way. I'm at Toys R Us buying a Skylander. In fact, I'm buying this Skylander right here. His name is Eyebrawl. And he's lovely.
He's actually pretty damn awesome.
Yeah, he's pretty cool, isn't he? His eye comes off and flies around the screen and shoots shit. It's awesome. But I'm there with Lich Lord Charlie. And I'm going to call you. I'm at the house. Oh, really? Is that so? Yeah, we thought we'd stop by. They live in Columbus, Ohio, folks. And, what's this? Hey, John, Chris here. Cookie's dad, my son, Huck, just asked me, if MenothJohn makes it to Kingdom Con, do you think I will get to play with him? He's 7, by the way, and enjoys today's show. Awesome! Yeah, for sure. I will get a job. Huck gets a game with MenothJohn at Kingdom Con, and I am planning on coming to Kingdom Con. So
I need to clean up my act then.
Yeah, dude. He sat through all my blue before. He's pretty cool for a 7-year-old. And Chris is distilled awesome. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pour. So we're T-minus 9 minutes to releasing the Kraken. So we're going to get the Kraken out.
So we should post your address so more people could show up unannounced?
Dude. I love people coming to visit when I know they're coming. This is the famous bottoms up monkey glass.
Okay.
This is my old man's glass. So I always, whenever we drink, we release the Kraken here on Pending with MenothJohn, I drink it out of the monkey glass. And then we've got a little bit of Kraken here for you. We'll put a little less in there for you. You know, we always put one out for Elijah. I'm not Jewish. But I always like to make the Jewish reference. We're not ready that, so you can just put that over on your table over there. It's a black spice rum. And I should probably tell the story about Kraken.
Every time I think Kraken, I think of something horrible at a gaming store.
No, that's
Like-
butt Kraken.
No, that's also Aztec.
That is Aztec.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen any Aztec recently, although I did game with Brian Geezy.
Well, Brian at least has the knowledge to notice that his ass is showing.
Yes.
There's some folks who just do not know. And might I make a mention right now? If you have a shirt and you're a little overweight and your shirt doesn't go over your weight, you need a longer shirt and you need to wear it.
This is truth.
Yes.
This is truth.
Because nobody wants to see...
Chuck Ellsworth lifted up his shirt at
Nobody wants to see that. Yeah.
And I went blind for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
This is a true story.
No, nobody wants to see that. Wear a long shirt. I mean, I know. You're not going to see me displaying any Aztec.
No.
So.
No, you're a man of quality and talent. So anyway, the story on the Kraken is I was introduced to the Kraken by Ross Thompson.
Okay.
Ross...
If this is the Ross Thompson I know, this
it is. This is the Ross Thompson of Kingdom Con.
Okay.
So I love Ross like a son, like the son I'm glad I never had. And Ross along with Kevin, formerly of PP, and and some other folks were at TempleCon back in 2010, and they were just sitting around and they had the Kraken. And we all sat around and just did shots of the Kraken. And I'll tell you what, I was drunk as a fucking skunk.
Nice.
But I learned to love this stuff, and it is, in my opinion, the best spiced rum you can buy. Captain Morgan's, backseat bitches. This is the Kraken.
I had some spiced rum. It's you might like it. It's called Whalers.
Yet another nautical theme.
Yes.
Excellent.
Well, obviously, rum from the Caribbean is pretty much going to be fancy nautical.
Like, I think I had some fucking epiphany there. Duh! Captain Morgan's also nautical.
Hey!
Did you ever consider underbelly sex?
No.
That's really dark. I don't know. But his name is Tau Dark. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
We're 6 minutes away from releasing the Kraken. Make sure all of you out there have your drinks ready, because we all released the Kraken exactly at 8 p.m. Central and not a minute before. So, so what were we talking about? We told the story about the Kraken. What else? What other things should we be discussing here on the show?
Probably the unadulterated use of Nathan's absinthe.
Oh, Nathan is a fan of the absinthe?
Nathan is a fan of the absinthe.
I
have tried it, and it's pretty decent.
I have had it as well. There is a very interesting distillery in Milwaukee called Great Lakes Distillery. They were the first licensed distillery in Wisconsin after Prohibition.
Sure.
And I guess they only recently went to allowing distilleries in the state of Wisconsin, because I guess the brewers are probably all pissed off about it or something.
Probably.
But they make a lot of really excellent liquors there, and I have some gin of theirs in the other room, and they also make a maple flavored brandy, I believe, or maple flavored rum. That is actually quite tasty.
It's not nautical themed though.
No, it is not.
Okay, that's not a proper rum.
It breaks from that tradition, because I didn't know they all had to be nautically themed until just now. But they also have some. I'll go make some absinthe. Okay, hurry up, Nate. You got 4 minutes, and it takes a little bit of time to get that ice in there. But they make an absinthe there too.
Okay,
and that is where I tried it, and it's lovely.
I know Nate's is actually imported.
Oh, very nice.
So it's the stuff with the actual wormwood.
Nice.
Wormwood in it. So yeah, so that actually makes you go crazy. So he drinks that. So there you go.
Everything becomes clear.
Yeah, everything, completely.
But knowing that, Nathan, what I will do is I will bring some absinthe from Great Lakes Distillery next time I come up for a tournament.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
When do you guys have your next tournament up there in Madison?
August 3rd, I think, is our next one.
August 3rd. I'll have to look at the Custody with MenothJohn calendar.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I think that's the date. I'd have to double check.
We're going to call this checking custody with the 3rd. Okay, let me check my custody calendar.
Yeah. It would be on the 3rd is when it looks like it is.
Will you look at that? I'm kid-free on the 3rd.
I am not allowed to go.
You're not allowed to go?
I am not allowed to go to any tournament.
Why is that? Carnage
for You has forbade me from going to any tournament.
Why is that?
Because he wants me to paint my damn army. Yeah, I'm not. I really wanted to go to the September 27th event. I can't do it.
Up in Milwaukee?
Up in Milwaukee. Can't do it.
Why don't you play one of my painted armies?
Because I can't paint when I'm playing.
So,
but we'll see. I learned some awesome tips and tricks today. We'll see how things go off this whole week. I'm going to try to paint every day of the week, and then see how it goes.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule here today to come down with me to be a part of the show.
Yeah.
And to learn a little bit about the airbrush earlier today. Started to work on my storm wall. I'd show it to you guys, but you're not going to see anything. It's just going to look like a black fucking storm wall because I'm using Exile Blue. I haven't put enough layers on it yet. It's got about 5 or 6 more coats with the airbrush to go on it in order for the blue to come up to where I want it.
I told you the video would turn out a little bit better after that stopped. Look at the quality.
It is better.
It is better.
It is better.
Yeah.
They can see what we look like now.
Slightly, instead of all blurry.
Is that an advantage?
Maybe.
Okay.
Depends. Depends how sexy you want to look.
Oh, sexy. My sexy dance on the YouTubes now. Anyway, so it is very nice. We are less than 1 minute away from releasing the Kraken. So because we have to wait until it exactly becomes 8 o'clock, I will now hold the Kraken for the next 1 minute if necessary. I'd love to see you in the chat room. We know that Nathan's got his absinthe going, and got 2 lumps of sugar in that one. Seems kind of like a pussy.
No, you drink it with a little sugar.
Well, I know there's supposed to be a little sugar in there,
a little
but
watered down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The stuff that's not watered down is not drinkable.
Yeah.
Oh my god! And so I don't know what the rest of you are drinking. I am assuming that Nevendar is having something alcoholic to drink. He's from Sweden.
We have some fans from Sweden. We have a member of the podcast from Sweden as well.
Who's a member of your podcast from Sweden?
Swedish Muslim Jeremy.
The greatest of them all. I don't know what I'm thinking about.
He's been away for a while. I don't know where he's been. Maybe he'll make an event. He came back to do a Zappity Grumble.
It was very good, too.
In our last
all right, ladies and gentlemen, it's 8 o'clock here in the Central Time Zone. Time to release the Kraken. Up yours.
Right.
It's nice.
I like it.
Yeah, it's good. It's got a nice flavor to it. It's got a certain wang to it.
It's got a little burn in it.
Yeah.
A little close.
Do you want a little bit more? Or are you good?
No,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Nobody wants him to crash on the way back to Madison. But,
I am from Wisconsin, so I think I can hold my liquor, but
no.
I don't want to. I don't want to.
Turns out the DWI is the most preventable of all lawsuits.
Also, the most preventable thing you can get in trouble from the cops. You just don't drive after you've been drinking.
Turns out that's a thing.
Hey,
I've got about a 15-foot walk to my bedroom. You have a 90-minute drive.
it's actually more.
Really?
Yeah. Well, it might have been about 90 minutes. I ended up stopping at Culver's on the way over, which is pretty good. I needed some cheese curds and a chicken sandwich, and that took like 20 minutes for them to get it to me.
Bunch of fucking assholes.
So that's why it was a little bit later than normal.
Honestly, because nobody orders the cheese curds.
Yeah.
Those things aren't waiting around. Okay, so I think it's time for Zappity Grumble. For those of you, we're going to use the last half hour or however many minutes we go here with the show, and we're going to do Zappity Grumble. And so, if you would, let's see some Zappity Grumble questions, please. So we're going to wait here for the chat window to give us a question, and we're going to go that way.
So, if I'm looking at this right,
yep.
This number here, does that show how many people are actually viewing?
That's how many views my channel has ever gotten.
Oh, okay.
Okay. E-Gatsby Nerf. Step in the right direction. Zappity!
Well, no, we're supposed to answer it first and then do the grumble.
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
Okay. So answer it first.
I already saw your Facebook post, and you already... I think that was derived probably from conversations that we've had too.
This is a Zappity thing, so quick. Yes.
Yeah. No, it's not a step in the right direction, because the thing that actually needs to be nerfed on Gatsby is X-Carnate.
Agreed 100%. I don't... If what Maddie K leaked, or whoever it was that leaked it, is... And I don't know how Maddie K would have gotten a hold of it. But if that is what it truly is, where it's a simple nerf on only bringing back grunts, I don't think it solves the problem. I think the biggest problem with Gatsby is the fact that you can eliminate swaths of infantry effortlessly with a very simple spell, and still remain completely without danger of using it. So, Zappity Grumble! Okay, the next question is, are you going to make it to the Nova Open? I believe that's more of a question for me, but you should answer it as well. Am I going to make it to the Nova Open? There is a 50% chance I'm going to make it to the Nova Open.
Where is the Nova Open?
That answers your question. Zappity!
Grumble!
Who is a good Warcaster to pair with the High Reclaimer in a two-list format? I'm going to take that one first. With the High Reclaimer, I think that your best one to go with him is probably Krios 1. Because what you want to do with and I'm only saying that because that's what John Damaris said on the Muson Minis. However, if I was answering more honestly, I would say with the High Reclaimer, your biggest issue is a Legion matchup. So you want something that's going to be able to tear down the field very fast, to get and engage with those Ravagors as fast as humanly possible. So you probably want, I'm thinking Bastions, because they're really fast, and I think that you want as many Crusaders as you can. Your turn.
I think he asked for Warcaster.
Oh, Warcaster.
But I think for a two-list format, you're kind of right. You want to go with something that would counter High Reclaimer's weaknesses. I think somebody tearing down the field like Krios 3 may be a good choice with his full cav complement. Some daughters in there too.
I think daughters are an excellent thing to put in his list.
Just something to scream up the field. I think would be good.
Yep. One would think that Thyra might be good because of the daughters she likes to bring with, but I don't think it's a good matchup because one of her spells is occultation, and it's one of her most powerful spells, and it's just not useful.
Completely useless.
Zappity! Let's see. Non-War Machine related. Should I grow a beard? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Absolutely. You're asking two people here?
Yeah.
I mean, I got a baby one, but look. Exactly. Grow a beard. Any women watching Painting with MenothJohn, do not grow a beard.
Yeah. That's probably good, strong advice.
Zappity
Grumble.
Okay. Let's see. Strongest Khador caster to play to SR 2013 scenarios. I'm going to go with the magical chick.
Old Witch?
No, the
Zerkova?
Zerkova. I'm going to say Zerkova because that's my level of tech.
Honestly, I think Sorcerer 1 is underplayed.
I think in all seriousness, Sorcerer 1's terrific.
Sorcerer 1, Old Witch, two good casters. I know a lot of people poo-poo on Harkovich, but man, if I was playing Khador and that's what the internet told me I should play, that would be who I try to champion.
Yeah. I did play against Sorcerer 2 in the 2013 down there on the Aluminum Gauntlet. Fastest game I had of the day. Killed her in no time flat. Because it turns out that Blood Gorgers under her feet with Dark Guidance kills her straight dead.
Yeah, I mean, well, you still have, you have to hit her, and that's the big issue. I mean, she can. I think Sorcerer 1 really needs tabletop time. I think people just don't realize. I mean, her feat is really good, and it's good against really good against troop spam.
Yep, and I think people are going to find out that the way to play Khador moving forward is to get out of that rut of the low armor, high defense stuff, and start finding some armor and build that faction back up with somewhat like Jordan has done with all his Mana War and things like that. There's just not a lot that deals with that stuff terribly well.
Well, Jordan was really bent on having to take a caster that has Iron Flesh. Mm-hmm. And so, and personally, I think Iron Flesh is a crutch. It basically forces you to take, I'm going to take the Winterguard Death Star and have those guys.
Yep.
I don't know. I really like Sorcerer 1. She was my baby in Mark 1. She was the first caster to be nerfed 3 times. It's still viable.
Yep, absolutely.
And
that is the most we've ever talked about Khador on this particular podcast.
Oh, really?
So to that end, I will say, Zappity Grumble! Yes, absolutely. All right, so be honest with yourselves. Did Pacific Rim have enough giant robot monster fighting? I don't think it had enough. Simply from the standpoint, I don't think there can be enough.
There could be a 6-day documentary
on robot.
Basically,
I could watch.
I'm going to give away part of the storyline, which isn't
plug
much
your
of a
ears,
storyline.
Plug your ears, Pop Dart. It's not that much though.
It really is at the very beginning. It says basically they have a shot of one of the first monsters that show up in San Francisco.
They call them kaiju.
Kaiju, yes. And they basically, the way the narrator says it took them 6 days to take that damn thing down. I'd like to see a documentary of those 6 days of them just trying to take it down.
Have you ever seen the movie Monster?
Yes, I have.
That was the documentary of the first 6 days.
No, Monster, but that one is already where they've already been contained.
Good point. I was kind of looking
just
at that
slowly breaking out as
that's true.
As the movie ends.
That's true.
But Monster's a pretty.
I like that movie.
It's for a really low budget kind of sci-fi flick movie. It worked out pretty well.
We might do recommendations at the end of this. Just totally stealing wholeheartedly your whole format.
That's fine.
But the director of Monster is doing a new Godzilla.
Oh,
fucking A! That'd be awesome. Where are we at next?
We're at best item on the Taco Bell menu.
Zappity.
The Taco Bell Grumble.
Oh, that's what your stomach. That's what your bowels do after you eat that.
Yeah.
Best item on the Taco Bell menu: the grilled stuffed chicken burrito XL.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
I'm wrong. So what do you think?
You're completely wrong.
Well, okay. Well, what is it?
Cinnamon twists.
Oh. Those are fucking fried dough and sugar.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of works.
Cinnamon twists.
Good point. I stand correct. I was wrong, Internet. It's actually Cinnamon Twist. So I was like, how can I say Zappity in a Spanish accent?
No, cheesy fried potatoes. Actually, the best menu choice ever from a Mexican type franchise restaurant.
We got no points this round.
That's fine. Potato oles from Taco John's.
Oh, fuck yeah. At 3 o'clock in the morning with the green hot sauce on it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I may have made myself sick driving down to Adepticon. Rydia Fan and I were riding in a car down to Adepticon, and we stopped at
Kissing in a tree.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
We stopped at a Taco John's on the way down, and they had a special deal where you can get like 2 meals for the price of 1.
Yeah, buddy.
But it was 2 large potato oles containers, and then like a bunch of tacos.
Sounds like a recipe for a shark.
Yeah. I proceeded to eat 3 of those tubs of potato oles and no tacos.
I had PTSD over that.
Yeah, it's a man. That was it was awesome. I didn't feel good afterwards.
The term fecal slurry would be appropriate here. Wow, we are at all new heights on this show.
Yep.
Okay, so let's see here. What else we got here? What's the... Wait, there are robots and monsters in Pacific Rim. Yes, there are robots and monsters in Pacific Rim. Spoiler! That's like Sophie Choice there. Okay, we need another Zappity!
Rumble?
Favorite Cirrus casters and why? When I think about who the best cock is, the best in cock, I guess... I know everybody's all warm in their private parts about Aurora because she's hot, but I'm personally interested in Lucan, Father Lucan. I don't know why I think that because I haven't even looked at the book, but I've heard he's good, and he's got lots of legs. He's like a little spider guy.
I don't really have any of them that I really like. I like Aurora. She looks cool. I like the whole idea of her Earth Force, but.
Did you see Charlie Foster's?
No, I don't want to.
He got this purpley shit, this sparkly purpley stuff that he's put on her. Oh my god!
I bet you it's the same amethyst purple paint that I got.
It's different. It's a separate pigment that he used. Mm-hmm. It's a solid pigment that he used, and but it looks a lot like the paint that you showed me earlier today.
I thought I don't know. I like Aurora. I like the idea of Axis.
I like the idea of Axis too.
Until I really see him on the field, I can't really say. I mean, I could read over books, and that's the problem. I was going into long Zappity Grumble. That goes into the problem I have with spoilers.
Yeah.
Because I can look and read something until I am blue in the face.
Yeah.
But unless I see it on the table, it has no meaning to me.
I have the same problem.
I can't put it in a frame of reference.
I have the same problem. I can't... some of these guys gin up combos like a boss, and then I listen to Muse on Minis, and I get sad about the fact that I can't think that way.
Oh, I can think of combos in that, but I mean, I the idea of complaining about something before it's even on the field is because something that's awesome, you people were talking about how awesome battle engines were going to be and how they were going to dominate
break
the world.
Game.
Yep. Not even close.
Nope.
Talking about how Colossals are going to break the game. Not even close.
Nope.
Now, like, junior casters. It's like, no. It's not going to break it.
No, it's not going to break it at all.
No.
And nor are they going to be insignificant either. I think they will see play in some cases, just like any privateer press model. I mean, if there's one guy on this planet I trust, it's DC when it comes to game design and stuff.
Yeah.
He's a smart son of a bitch. There's no two ways about it. And so when it comes to, this is going to break the game, or that's not going to break the game, I mean, I know how those folks play test there, and I know that DC's not going to let something get out of the house. It's going to destroy the game unless he really wants it to. Because E Morvana is a thing, and we hate E Morvana on this podcast.
I honestly think that they've done a lot better playtesting this time around as compared to Mark 1 testing.
Agreed.
Where I don't believe that there was some playtesting done. I have no idea how the Legion book got published.
No.
Or not the Legion book, but Metamorphosis. The casters or the models that were metamorphosis for Legion just completely destroyed.
That was the Typhon. Typhon book, right?
That was Typhon. That was the War Chief.
Yeah.
That was Lilith 2.
Yeah. I don't know how the Ravagore made it out of testing.
Oh, Ravagore's fine. Ravagore's fine. It's like I said, Mark 1 had a horrible Lilith 2.
Yeah.
Where you're shooting into your opponent's deployment zone 56 times before they can even move. I
hear that's bad for the game.
Yeah. Even the War Chief wasn't bad himself, but you mix him with Rias.
The old Iron Chef trick, where he would just absolutely tear through an entire army by himself.
Yeah. We had somebody with that had the War Chief go through 24 models of someone's army. Just
only Butcher gets to do that.
Yeah.
And Slaughterborn and what's Madrak under feet.
Yeah.
So let's get on the Zappity Grumble here. If someone could change one rule in the game. Oh, first off, we didn't do the Zappity.
What?
Grumble.
There you go. If you could change one core rule of the game, not special ability, but an actual rule, not a special ability, not a spell or slash ability, but an actual rule, what would it be?
I'll let you take this one first because I have to think.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Not a problem. It's my show.
I was going to sit here and make faces because it looks funny.
Let's see here. I was thinking about
Mark II is really well designed. Sprays are as powerful as they need to be.
I think water shutting down Jax is fine.
I think deep water probably needs to be just removed from the game.
Yeah.
Nobody uses it. It can create confusion and makes certain friends of mine sad. But I don't know if I'm even there yet. Incorporeal works really well.
I honestly can't think of anything that really has come up that I've had that I felt like I had a disagreement with.
I can't even point at tough. I don't really have a big huge problem with tough because the faction is designed around tough, and it's a well balanced faction.
I think tough is fine.
Eyeless Sight is a little powerful.
Yeah, but that's an ability. That's not exactly a core rule.
I don't know what to tell you. I think they did a damn nice job on Mark II. I don't know what to criticize.
Yeah, I haven't really come up with anything in any of my games that I've played that I felt like that needed a change in that regards.
Well, Nathan has two. Make shallow water by rough terrain that isn't ignored by path. You know, if you're going to type Radio Fan, you better spell correctly.
Just make shallow water
that isn't ingored by Pathfinder, and models in it cannot shake.
You've had one absinthe.
Wow. Ride-by attack, I just don't like it.
I think there's rules that they could have that are a little bit better defined.
Tall in the saddle would be better.
Tall in the saddle should be on the damn card.
I agree. I think tall in the saddle is something that doesn't get caught on enough, and it's super important.
Well, okay. Man, suddenly they're come flying out now. One thing I'd like to have is a power attack cards.
That would be nice.
Just a small set of cards that would have what two-handed throw is, a quick little demonstration of what they are.
Yep.
All the regular power attacks. They should have like a little card for those. All little cards. If anybody see me at tournaments, you probably see me. I have like little Theme Force cards.
Mm-hmm.
Those need to be made as well.
Agreed.
In a small pack that you could put out at the end of the year.
Oh, that'd be great.
Or something, or a no quarter thing where you could just pop them out. Done.
Just laminate them and be good.
Yeah.
Okay. Zappity!
Grumble.
Let's see here. I am Command checks, I think, are good. Everybody's got them. I'm looking for a question. I don't have one.
Well, there's some people talking as like damage before your camp focus drops. Fire damage is the thing. I mean, it's. I don't see really any big issue with it.
Fire is fair and balanced.
Not really. It's not really fair. It's not really balanced.
It's completely awesome.
Yeah,
it is awesome.
I mean, I like it when my opponent's casters burn to death, but at the same time,
My face is a thing.
It's just better. Maybe a better continuous effect. I don't know. I think fire is fine. It's just really, really dangerous. And, well, fire is dangerous.
Exactly. It's why you set people on fire.
Yeah. Maybe having corrosion do something different. Maybe instead of being just straight 1 point, maybe a D3 points.
I'd be okay with that.
Or
I would
like
actually be fine and dandy with that.
Or even as you're corroded, maybe your armor drops.
That seems excessive, but it's
It
fluffy.
drops by 1 or
But it's
something.
fluffy.
Yeah.
Anyway, the laptop says we have 15% left on the battery, which means the show's going to have to end here pretty soon. So one last Zappity
Grumble.
All right. So I think we're probably going to call it good, guys. This has been a great show. We talked for 90 minutes, more or less.
Yeah.
So
What color is the ink? Is it the pen is blue?
what?
Is the pen blue? The pen is blue.
Where is that?
No, pen is blue. You ever see that from Liar Liar?
No, I haven't seen that.
So he was trying.
Today's been an adventure in what John hasn't seen.
Yeah,
by the
you
way.
need to see a lot more movies here. No, Liar Liar is probably one of Jim Carrey's best films.
Okay.
In terms of comedy, it's just really good. Well, he was trying to perform a lie, and he couldn't lie because his son had wished him for him not to lie for a single day.
I had seen that.
And that was the scene where he was trying to write down the pen is blue. But if you looked on the paper that he was writing down, it's just penis blue. And he's just writing that everywhere. Penis blue. So.
Why are you not painting? Weird beard faces person talking. Who the hell is that? Forsaken. What? I can't tell who your name is, but this is a very special.
It's Franklin the Man, too.
All right. Well, I'm going to call it a show, guys. I want to thank Andy Welton of Crippled System. Make sure you check out Crippled System on the internet. It's part of the Muson Mini family. And it's a great podcast with interesting people talking almost exclusively about War Machine.
No.
No? Is that not accurate?
No.
Okay.
We talk about as much about War Machine as you did painting today.
That is accurate. That is accurate. So I want to thank Andy for being part of the show, and I'm going to I'll put this up on the YouTubes, and there might be a show next Sunday. There might not be a show next Sunday. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah, you can always come to Madison.
That's possible. That's possible. And I want to thank all of you. We've got 16 people watching, which
awesome.
is pretty amazing. And it gives me hope to actually kind of want to do this show next week. So
yeah.
Perhaps Painting with MenothJohn will go to Madison next weekend. It all depends. I have my kids next Sunday, so we'll see how it goes. All right. On behalf of Andy Walton and all of you out there in the chat room, I want to thank you for watching Painting with MenothJohn. It's been really awesome and special, and we'll see you next time. Do 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 do.